All right, so we are paper trading, doing a little bit of trading, a little bit of testing before the London session tonight. This is what you should be doing. You should be practicing a little bit before you get on there. Excuse me. You can see I had a trade already, shorting the E-mini Nas100. And it just closed over here. We were just looking to get 5 points, $50. That's what we're looking for. Now, mind you, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. If you find anything of value or educational in it, more power to you. I'm doing this strictly to kind of journal my progress, journal my technique, journal my strategy, and work things out for myself. And maybe you come along for the ride, maybe you don't. Either way, let's just have a good time and hang out, shall we? So you can see we got the range forming here, and I am short right now because if you look at what happened during New York, you can see it's looks like we are in seller's territory right now. So this is not for buy, it is for selling. As you can see, the price coming up is for selling, as you can see, and this might be the last opportunity to sell, maybe selling into London, and then London might take price up a little bit. It's quite possible that Tokyo can take the price up and London will take it down, but we're just playing it step by step. What I'm focused on is the selling, because we are in the shop of the sellers. They are looking to sell some product. And you can even see here we are also in a seller's territory right there, because we're pushing up against this area right here, and we came up. You can see we tested it, and quite possibly maybe a rejection, so we'll keep an eye on that. Could have gone in, look at that, I could have gone in for another sell here. But we'll see what this is going to do right now. If it hits up here, we'll probably go in for another sell. Put in another order. And you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. Let's do it. Order filled, as they say. So let's set our target. Looking at 50. And our stop loss is somewhere up here. Let's make it 350. Once again, just because we have our stop loss set so high does not mean I'm willing to let it go to the stop loss. I am willing to let it go up to here and a little bit up here before I decide that I'm hitting the ejection button and I am jumping out. But I will not let it go up to here. This just gives me room to play. It gives me room to kind of think, what am I going to do? Where's the market going? And do I really want to get out? Or am I certain that it's going to go in my favor? A lot of people, especially when starting out, and I thought the same way too, think that your stop loss is etched in stone, and it's not. It's not set and forget. Because what usually happens when you set your stop loss, and a lot of new traders know this because I know this. What happens when you set your stop loss? Price goes to your stop loss and cleans you out. And what happens directly after that? Price goes in your favor. So it kicked you out of the race and then took everyone else with him except you. So that's why you have to, the stop loss has to be dynamic. It can't be so static. It can't be like this is it, and if it goes to it, I mean, if price is going to your stop loss, and you really, really, really want to prevent your loss from getting it, you can get out of a trade. You don't have to watch it hit your stop loss. You don't have to let it hit your stop loss. You can jump out of a trade anytime you want. There are no rules except the ones that you set for yourself. If you don't feel good about a trade that you're stuck in, get out of it. And I would say that is a much better instinct to develop than letting price go to your stop loss and just watching it happen. That is a terrible, terrible setup. That is a terrible pattern of behavior to establish. And if I was a seasoned trader, I would start telling the noob traders to don't let price go to your stop loss. Keep price as far away from your stop loss as possible. And the moment you start getting a bad feeling, get out of the trade. Because that's something that I've had to develop. I had to develop that instinct myself, despite what all the YouTube gurus are telling you. Or, yeah, it's mostly the YouTube gurus. I'm going to go ahead and put another one right here. So that brings our take profit up to 175 and our stop loss to 600. But I'm not even going to focus on that because I'm not going to let it go that high. So we just need to focus on what's happening right now. What's happening right now is we are in this range right here. And depending on what price does, we might see another range developing right here. But for now, this is still our range because you see it breaks down, but then it comes back up into this range that we've already established. So we're just gonna, this is probably a better exercise than using a replay or a Forex tester program, because this is actually being in the market and you can test any strategy this way. Look at that, we're already up $50, $60. So we're doing pretty good. Live market, not a live account. It's the only difference. So we are getting closer. And we may be looking at this lower range developing. $105. I could close it right now and be totally happy with my progress, with what I've done. But I'm pretty certain the probability of it hitting our take profit is high, so I'm just going to let it run. And if it comes back to here, I might throw in another order. There we go. It's getting closer. It's getting closer. That song was pretty good. I like that one. You know, chiptune is one of my favorite genres of music, if you could say that. I just like the sound, and there's something in chiptune that just can't be replicated with modern components like programs in a computer, and it was that staticky, that crinkle sound that comes from a true chipboard. And there we go. Bingo bango. How about that, huh? So now we are going to wait for the next opportunity, and it looks like the next range might be starting around here. So we're gonna wait and see how far this one goes, and that's where we'll level it out. So history will show you a lot. It'll show you what you want to do and give you kind of a roadmap as to where you should be going. So we saw New York. We saw the sellers in New York, buyers trying to come back, not quite making it, and then this long drawn out buy right there, just price going up but very slowly into Tokyo. And here we're going to see, or what we've seen right now, is sellers continuing to do what they do. So it looks like we have our bottom right here. We're going to put it something like line it up with this right here. This looks like what we're dealing with right now, right in here. And this range, not set in stone. If this price continues to drop, I will drop it with it. If it goes back up, I will move this back up as well. Because what I'm focused on, while we use history to see what price has done in the past and where we may be headed, we are also just kind of trading in the moment. We are watching the market unfold, and we are listening to it and seeing what is it going to do. And if we look over here, we can see there's kind of an area right here. So price may have come down here and then just bounce up, because there seems to be a support for this area, but it's a resistance for this area. So the possibilities are, oops, didn't mean to do that. The possibilities are price comes down to here, bounces up, or price comes down to about this area right here, and then bounces up and then rejects. So these are two of the highest probability outcomes of what can happen right now. And that's what we're going to keep our eye on. And we're just going to watch it happen, let it unfold organically, and we'll play it as we see it. So the next possible place is right about here, right where we set. It's going to break under, maybe retest, and either continue up or just reject and continue the sell, continue the discount. So there it's coming up. Where are you going, friend? I mean, we could even adjust here to make it like that. Because see, we got price bounces here and then breaks through, and then we're at the middle right there, and now we're at the bottom. So it's nothing is set in stone, and it's kind of just eyeballing it, trying to figure out where is price going and where is it settling. The good time would be is if we can get this to come back right here and then bounce down again. We could sell it up here and then clean out the shop right here. That would be ideal. So as it gets up here, I'll start putting in sell orders. And if it keeps going up, I will close them. We'll get out of it. But as we get lower, we're looking at the possible retest of this area. So let's kind of see what we got. We got a possible retest right here where it can retest. We have a possible retest right here. We're testing this area right here and an area right about here. So these are all the areas that we are going to be really interested in. See, price bounces around in here. This would have been a good place to make some money. Then it came up, kind of got stuck in this area. Then it got stuck in this area. Price came down, and we're testing this area to see if we're going to go here. It's just like I drew with the arrows earlier. But these are just several different ways you can use to look at the map and see where are we going, what route are we taking, and how are we going to get there. So all these lines are just like if you're driving your car. No. Here's a point of interest. Oh, let's stay here for a while. This is like we're in the Grand Canyon right here. There's a lot to see there. There's a whole Grand Canyon. Then let's take Route 66 up, and we'll kind of travel New Mexico. Let's check out Santa Fe. Oh, Santa Fe's nice. I like Albuquerque. Hey, Word All got a song about that. Then let's head to California. And now we got to drive through all this desert to get to California. And we're headed to California. Is California over here or is California up here? That's what we're trying to see. But all these lines are just points of interest. And that's what this is. We're kind of stuck in this point of interest right here. And we're looking for a rest stop. Are we going to stop at a restaurant, or are we going to stop at a restaurant literally and just use the facilities and be on our merry way? Let's see. So it's looking like this, maybe more like this than anything. This looks like our area right here. So if it comes up here again, actually, I think I might start selling. No, I'm going to let it continue up a little bit before I enter an order. And I've said it 1,000 times. This is the exercise you should be doing. This is the pre-game workout that you should be doing. This is what I'm doing before London. So I'm getting some work in. I'm going to probably do this for another 30 minutes. And then that'll kind of get my brain active. And then when London starts, I'll jump on maybe 2 hours before London. And then bam, hit it. I'll look and see what Tokyo did. And this looks like a good spot. Let's set our TP right there. And our SL. Let's go to 300. I mean, it doesn't even matter. We can just throw it up there like that. Because once again, it is not about the stop loss. It is about stopping before we get to the stop loss. So do I want to put in another? Because let's see, we could be testing this area again right here. Right there. This is going to give us some static right there. See, hit it and then bounce down. But will we continue down or will we break through? And that's another thing you got to watch out for. Like we were talking about earlier. Is it going to reject here or is it going to bounce up? That's what we are waiting to see. I'm almost tempted to put in another order. Okay, there we go. Now we'll put in another order here. Actually, let's wait. Let's wait for this this minute to pass, and we'll see what price is. So I think I'm gonna miss an opportunity here. All right, placing another order brings our average up. Very nice. And we are just using the TradingView paper trading account to do this in. Nothing fancy. So from the looks of it, we could be in a larger range, but I'm not gonna go that big. I'm gonna set this here and use this point right there where it bounced up and stop. This is gonna be our new range right there. So I could put another order here, but if it continues to break, that could put us in a really, really tight spot. Because let's see. We're coming down here. Yeah, we're testing this area right here. So let's see what happens. Let's just wait and see. Best case scenario, comes back. I could put another order. Or I could stop. What do I want to do? I think I'll see what happens after this point right here. Even though I really, really want to put another order in. I'm going to go ahead and do it. So we're going to move this up here now and then see what builds. Hopefully it bounces around in here and then drops. That would be nice, but it's quite possible that we could see it bounce around in there and then shoot up. We'll see. If it comes back down, I'm just going to close it. I'm going to close it at the least amount of loss possible. So you can see we're kind of at the top right here. Probability are we can go at least to here. And the best that could happen is we go below this and we close it. The absolute best that could happen is if we go below our entry and take profit. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We take it minute by minute. And right now, as we're in drawdown, $175. There's a lot of crazy thoughts in your head. Is like, I can't believe you did this. I can't believe you didn't start buying. I can't believe you're letting it go to your stop loss. I'm not letting it go to my stop loss. You gotta stop those thoughts and stop that voice by saying it's okay. It's gonna be okay. I probably should have made a smaller account, because who's got $100,000 to trade? $10,000 would have been more feasible. But soon I'll have $100,000 to trade. That's how you have to look at it. And then you look at it, okay, so I'm only out 175, 145 right now. And my profit, I'm still up $365. So it's not that big a deal. Money comes and money goes. It flows. It's currency. It follows the current. And if I'm not making money, then somebody else is. And when I start making money, great. I'm not stressing out. I'm not trying to talk myself down or talking myself out of this trade. I got to stay cool. I got to stay calm so that when opportunity presents itself, I can either rapidly close it so that it doesn't go up any higher, or I can close it when we finally get back to green. An exercise that I find helpful in times like this where I am in drawdown and I start to panic and freak out is like, no, what's the best that can happen? What is the best outcome? The best outcome would be profit. Okay, what's the second best? Second best is break even. Okay. Now wait for that to happen. Wait for one of those two. All right. Instead of, oh man, what if it goes up? What if it goes up, close it. Simple as that. There is no thought to it. If it keeps going up and you're freaking out, close it. Get out. You don't have to be in a trade. Once again, like I said, you do not have to let price hit your stop loss. There's nobody's holding a gun to your head telling you, you gotta let it, you set the stop loss, you gotta let it go to stop loss. No. You're in control. You are the master of your destiny. So we're just watching it bounce around. And based on the movement, I'm thinking it's going down a little bit. We might get a slight dip and then probably a move up. Starting to look like a bull flag here. So as soon as it gets back to our entry, I'm getting out. I should probably close it right now because $85 isn't such a big loss. But I'm pretty confident that the probability of it crossing at least once is good. So I'm going to be patient and I'm going to learn from this. This could be the low of the Tokyo session. And this could be the high, or this right here, this area right here. We could be bouncing in between this all session until London opens. You can see even this could be a retracement from this move where it's coming down and then up. Or this is a really long flag here that could just be ready to drop any minute now. Here's the pole, here's the banner flapping in the wind, and then down. That's why I love when people talk about patterns, because it's like, you don't know, patterns happen, but pattern does not necessarily mean outcome. You can't just trade a pattern and expect it to work out. You have to trade a pattern understanding what's been happening before, and that'll give you an idea of what could happen in the future. Because you get a bull flag that turns bearish, or a bearish flag that turns bullish, or a head and shoulders that goes absolutely nowhere. And then you're sitting there wondering, like, well, it was a head and shoulders. Why didn't it reverse? Because it doesn't always do what the pattern says it's going to do. You got to be in it. You got to understand from the get-go. That'll help you understand the pattern. So a second ago we were at like $10, negative $10, and we could, like, here we are again. Should I close it? Nah, I'm gonna let it go a little bit longer, because I mean, we could still see some green, and I'm still pretty sure that we're gonna see some green, if not for a little bit. And as soon as that turns green, I'm hitting the X, because I don't like being in trades this long and not seeing a good outcome. And that's another thing, that you need to trade how you feel comfortable trading. You don't have to trade how someone else. Oh, you get the notification, it hit your target, and then you trade, and then you don't look at it. You need to trade on the 1 hour. You need to trade on the daily. I mean, you can do anything. It's the market, and the thing that makes the market so incredible is that there's a million ways to look at the market, and there's a million ways to trade the market. And there's a million different people making millions of dollars a million different ways. Okay, so here's that talk where it's like, you should have taken the 10. You should have taken the 10, and you know what? I think so. I'm gonna do what I feel, and I'm gonna put it in another order. Brings my average up just a little bit. But it's just like the bomb squad, the diffuser. What does the diffuser say when he goes to defuse the bomb? Well, I'm either right or it's not my problem anymore. It's exactly what this is. I'm either right or it's not my problem anymore. Let's see which one it is. All right, if this comes back to 10, I'm probably going to take that. Just close it out. Because like I said, I don't like being in these long trades. I want to be in a trade for maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe, but we've been in this since 34, and it is 48. I guess it hasn't been that long. Just felt like a long time, I guess. But I like to see profit right away. If I don't see profit right away, that's what causes the mind gremlins to start being like, "Ooh, you're wrong. You're wrong. Maybe you don't know what you're doing. Maybe you shouldn't be doing this. Maybe this isn't for you because you're losing money and you're just going to lose more money and you're just pretending that you know what you're doing. You don't even know what you're doing. Maybe nobody knows what they're doing. Maybe it's all just a big scam and you're just getting suckered in." It's like, shut up, little gremlin, little brain gremlin. When I wanted to get good at art, I didn't just get good at art overnight. I had to draw and draw and draw. When I wanted to get good at paper craft, I didn't just build one model and be like, "Whoa, I'm so good at building paper craft." When I wanted to learn how to design 3D models, I didn't just open a program and know absolutely everything there is to know about it. I had to work at it. I had to study. I had to do it every day. And if I went even a couple days without doing anything, you forget. You forget what the hotkeys are, or you forget what this button does, or you forget how to hold your hand so that the glue doesn't stick to your fingers. So in order to get good at something, you have to do it constantly. And you have to be patient. Be patient with yourself, especially. Okay, so we've broken out of our range and it is going to our stop loss. And I'm just going to take the hit. Yeah, I'm just going to take the hit. Let's reset and we'll start over. Okay. So what did we learn from this? We are back at $100,055. What did we learn? We got in the trade and we kept adding size. We were around this area right here where we could have got out at the smallest possible loss, which was $10, which would have been perfect. And here, instead of closing out right here, I added more size, and then price kept going up, and I decided, look, you know what? Enough is enough. I gotta close it, because if I don't close it now, that's gonna be a $600 loss. So I saved $200. I could have lost $10. There's a lot of things that happened that that we could learn from, and it's very important to learn from these situations, because if you don't learn anything, then we're likely to make the same mistake next time when it does this move, and instead of closing here or closing here, we're closing up here and taking a massive hit. All right, so let's give it a second. I can see the range building right here. Let's see, this looks like about right, yeah, this looks right. It's here, it's here. Okay, so this looks like our new range. Let's see what unfolds. And I'm not going to start buying just because price moved up a little bit. I'm still a seller. I'm just now more cautious, and I'm waiting for a better opportunity to sell. In fact, I think this might actually be it. But let's see what price does. Let's give it a little bit more time before we jump back in, especially after this loss. That hoit my guts. I mean, if you want to look at it, we could still be in this range right here because it hasn't gotten much higher. So until price goes up, we're still here. So price could come down, and we may have gotten out too early. We may be kicking ourselves in the butt when price drops and comes back to here. But that is a decision we're going to have to live with. I think one of the best things that we learned also is that we closed a losing trade. Closing a losing trade is one of the hardest things to learn as a new trader. And I think it's more important to get into the habit of closing losing trades than it is letting trades run, letting losing trades go. Because the next time we need to close a losing trade, it's going to get easier. And the next time it's going to get easier. And the next time it's going to get easier until you're just like, hey, I'm just going to close this. I'm just going to close this. I'm just going to close this. And then you get good at it. And you don't sit there with your finger on the trigger like, oh, should I close it? Or you just already know, I'm just going to close it. And then you close it. And you get on with your life. That's one of the things that wrecks a lot of young traders is the inability to take a loss, the inability to take a punch from the market. And I've been punched many times when I was young. My brother, in fact, hit me pretty good in the face. So I know how much a nice, solid punch can hurt. I saw stars. Like when you get hit so hard and there's just a little bit of black, and like in the cartoons when it's just like stars and shapes and these bright flashing lights, that I saw that. It was crazy. And then we just kept playing football. And it's funny because it hurt, but then it didn't. And it's just like the market. Like this loss, this $400 loss, it hurt. And we got a black eye from it, But at least, we don't got like hospital bills to pay from it. We can walk away from this. And we weren't hospitalized for it. But we're still above. Even $55, still a win. So yeah, price is just hanging around up here. Can't really break. It's having a hard time. So we may have closed way too early. But can't dwell on it. Must move forward. Must look for the opportunity to get back in. And then once we get back in, it's going to be the same thing. 5 points, and get out. I mean, $50, get out. Not looking for the big score. If the price keeps running after we hit our take profit, it's good for price. Great for us, good for price. If we wanted to call this a range, I would probably put it like right here. And then be like, look at this tiny little range that is forming right here. And we could try to trade it from here to about right there. Yeah, that seems about right. And then it broke above. So it looks like these ranges are getting smaller and smaller. And it's making me think one thing. It's losing momentum. The move up, they're running out. So I think it might be time. Let's go 50. And then our stop loss to save our account in case of failure. Look, and that puts us at the perfect area for a retest. What's it gonna be? Okay. Do we want to go in with more size now? Sure. We'll play this game. Okay, so you can see the buyers are really trying, but the force with which the price came back down after it went up that high, there's a struggle going on right here between the buyers and the sellers. Waiting to see if dinner's going to be ready soon because I got to go to work. Got to go to work soon if I'm going to make it back in time to trade London. Otherwise, this is all for naught. All right, we'll give it another 10 minutes. And we'll see what happens. And after that, I gotta start getting ready. Time to go scrub some toilets. Get a little bit taste of humility. Danged if I don't make those toilets shine. If you're gonna do anything, you might as well do it good, right? You might as well do it to the best of your ability. Same thing with trading. If you're gonna trade, you might as well go all in. You might as well just make it your life. You might as well just learn the ins and outs. You spend every waking second learning how to get better. Because one day, if you do that, you'll be better. And then it's all just second nature. But that takes time, and it takes dedication, and it takes sacrifice. You got to be hungry, and you got to stay hungry. And you got to take a lot of hits. So let's readjust our range finder. And if this is the top and this is the bottom, we just needed to come down to here. We'll close it, get out. We'll call it a day. We took a big loss, but we're still golden, so ain't no thing. Well, that is quite a surprise. Now, do we see this as opportunity, or do we see this as a threat? I see this as quite possibly the buyers might be back. And maybe I've been looking at this wrong the whole time. So what are we learning from this? Constantly check in and ask yourself this question. Don't wait to write it in your journal. Say it out loud while you're trading. What do I need to learn from this? There's a V formation here. Obviously, price is going up. But it's staggering. There's not a lot of conviction for the buy here. Which is what's leading me to think it's a sell. And maybe I got in too early on the sell. And I could have ridden the wave up before the sellers decided to step in Or maybe the sellers never decide to step in, and Tokyo is just an opportunity to take the price up higher, so when London opens, then we can take the price down. Maybe that's what's happening here. I mean, I would like to let this, give it a little bit more time just to see it play out. I think the overall lesson today is I need to get out of a trade when the getting is good. Like I said earlier, one of the hardest things to do is to close a losing trade. And I am up against the clock right now. We're gonna have to end this. We'll give it 3 more minutes and then we'll see. Close position and then try again tomorrow. With fresher insight. All right, we're going to go ahead and try and close with the smallest amount of damage. See if we can't get this lower. 50 would be nice. I'll do 90 if I have to. 70 is good too. 50 is good. Okay, let's push it a little bit lower than that. Come on, let's just go a little bit lower. 40 is nice, like 40. That puts us still above. I'm gonna go ahead and take the 40. But 30's nice. Oh, 30 was good. I should have taken the 30. But I'm still firm in my conviction that it's a sell. But I gotta go too. I don't want to leave this open. Oh, did you see that? It was like wink. That may have been my last opportunity. Breaking even is also nice. Okay, let's close. Oh, look at that. We made 40 bucks. All right. That was a fun little session. I think we learned a lot. I hope you learned a lot. I know I learned a lot. And it's not ironic that we learn more from our losses than we do from the success. Because we don't think about the success. It doesn't hit us as hard. A pat on the back is almost patronizing. More so than a punch to the face. A punch to the face really helps you reevaluate things and try to understand what happened. So this was I think this was a really good session. We learned a lot. This is probably going to keep going lower. This is the moment I've been waiting for. And unfortunately, I got to go. So viewer in the back, thanks so much for watching, for always being there, and for your support. Appreciate it more than you will ever know. Also, everybody else that stopped by, thank you so much for sitting around and hearing me talk about what I really enjoy doing. And of course, always remember, neurons that fire together, wire together. I will see you next time. It was a good session.